So I'm going to walk you through Canvas. So when you first log in, you're going to see one of two things. If your district has created the initial course for you and imported your students for you, you're going to see a card like this. And that's good because that saves you some time. But you might see nothing here, meaning you've got to build this all yourself. So we're going to assume you've got to build it all yourself. We're going to start with there. So the first thing I want to show you is how to change your profile pic. So you will click on Account, you'll go to Profile, and then there's going to be a little pencil here. You click on the pencil, you change your profile pic. The next thing you need to do while you're here is click on Settings. And down here, you need to go ahead and register your Google account, your school Google account. So it's going to be over here. Of course, I've already done mine, but you need to do that, okay? Now, we're ready to build a course. So under Dashboard, you're going to click Start a New Course if your school district has not already created the course for you. You start a new course. You can do private or public. We'll just keep it private. It's for school. Create course. Now you're going to enter into that course as soon as your course is made. And right away, we're going to go down to Settings and make a few changes. The first thing is you'll want to change your image. Give that card something cool. I just use the ones they have here, and I would search, whatever your subject is, and just find something just to make the class look fun. Okay, then the other thing you need here, there are other things you may want to learn about, and in that case, you'll just say, ask Google, what does file storage mean in Canvas? I'm just going to show you these basic things. Once you have published your site, that's something we haven't covered yet. You will have a link down here to share with students. While we're here, I want to show you something else. This is the navigation, and you'll notice in Canvas there's all this stuff over here, and it can be super overwhelming to students when they see all of that. There's a lot of it they don't need, and you know how you get rid of it? You drag it down. Okay, you'll still have access to it, but they won't. Anything they won't need, get it out of there. There's a lot of stuff they will never need to click on because you're not using it. So anyway, that's how you do that. Then I need you to go to Apps. You're going to get your Google account completely linked. If your district set up your class, they've probably done this part for you. You may not have to do this, but if you're starting from scratch, you're going to have to do this. And let's see if I can remember how here. I've got all my instructions. So we're going to search for Google. You're going to click on Google Apps. Now mine has already been added. No, it hasn't. Okay, well, good. I can show you how to do this. So you're going to click Add App, but look, it's asking for a consumer key and a shared secret, which actually I have those already. But here's how I got them. I scrolled to the bottom, and at the bottom of this page, you're going to click here to get the key and the secret. I don't know why they do that. It's weird. You just click there and you go get it, and then you plug it in and you add the app. Then you'll go over here. You'll have a link to Google Drive over here. This is going to refresh. Let's refresh that. Right here. And you're going to have to click on that and go ahead and authorize it again. But you'll notice here it shows all your Google files. So you can actually access Google from within Canvas, but that's not why we did it. We did it because you can use assignments from Google in the assignments, and it makes a copy for every student. So we want that capability. So you'll go back to home. And what we're going to do is create a module. So a module is like a unit. Like, you cover a chapter or a unit in your classroom. So this is a module. That's what they call it. And so we would say, you want a naming convention to use. I always do unit 1 dot introduction. I always label everything with that unit 1. because as you start to build content, you're going to have this mass quantity of content and you might forget what goes where. It's just better if you decide on a naming convention right from the get-go. It'll make your life easier. Okay, so now we have this. There's nothing in this chapter. There are two ways to add content. You can add it by automatically creating it as you go and then going back and editing it. Or you can create all of your content. So you can go to assignments, create a bunch of assignments. You can go to discussions, create a bunch of discussions. And then you would click add and you'd go find that assignment or that quiz that you made and you see it here and you'd add it. Because what this does is it gives a list of every single thing a kid is going to do in a unit. It'll have every quiz, it'll have every video that you want them to view, every discussion you want them to participate in. It will all be organized under the module. So before we do this, we're going to back up. We're going to do some prep work here to make sure you're ready to add some good quality assignments. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create kind of a worksheet in Google Docs. Okay, so this is, not to do with Canvas. This is just something I'm creating. This is like a type of worksheet I would have kids do in the classroom. So what is your age? We're going to make these questions simple. I'm just trying to show you how you could do this. So when you want kids to enter a response on a document, what you want to do is insert a one-by-one table. This gives them a place to write. So table one by one. That gives them a nice place to write. Doesn't affect the formatting of the document. Okay, and again, a one-by-one table. Okay, so now I've developed this worksheet I want kids to fill out. And now I want to assign it in Canvas. I'm just going to call this Canvas. Of course, that's not what you would call it. So now I'm going back to Canvas. The next thing I'm going to show you to do, just forget about that for a minute. We're going to set up some groups. Let's go to people. So you can do group projects in Canvas, and you can group kids for different projects. So here's how you do this. You go to groups. So we've clicked on people, then we click on groups. We're going to create a special group for the worksheet. Of course, you'll have something way better than that. So you have two options. You can allow kids to self-sign up. That means they get to choose their groups. So they'll go in and say, I'm going to be in this team with so-and-so. Or you can do that yourself. So we're going to, let's say we know we have 30 students, so I want 5 people per group. So I automatically know I need 6 groups. So it's going to go ahead and require that. We're going to automatically assign a group leader. That's going to be the person that turns in the work. So they'll do one project and then that one person will turn it in. So it will randomly assign students. You could also pick the group, so you also have the option to drag and drop. Now, you'll see here, nothing's showing up because I don't have any students in this. So this is just a practice thing I'm doing, but you'll have students listed. So that's how that works. Okay, one more thing I want to show you. Under assignments, let's say you do a weighted grade in your class and you're wondering, how in the heck am I going to do this? I'm going to show you. You need to create groups. So this is like your assignment group, so tests. And let's say then, and I've already got one created, that's assignments, and let's say I have labs. And then I want to weight these. So you're going to, once you've created the groups you want, click on the 3 buttons, assignment groups, weight. So we're going to weight these grades. I want assignments worth 20%, tests are worth 50%, and then labs are worth 30%. And click Save. Now, if you do a weighted grade, you need to tell kids because they'll be adding up their points and they'll be like, the grade book's wrong. So you need to tell them that you're doing that. And also, if you're syncing to a formal grading system, so if your district has that set up and you're syncing to say Tyler SIS, you will also have to set up the weighted grade in Tyler. So it will pull all the grades over, but it will not weight them. This programming part of Canvas will not transfer over. It only transfers the points. So you'll have to make sure that you have the same assignment categories set up in your SIS to weight that grade. Otherwise, it will just do a grand total. Okay, we're ready to start creating some work. So we're going to create an assignment. So there's 3 graded things that kids can do in Canvas: assignments, discussions, and quizzes. Okay, so an assignment can be something they do in class and they turn in on paper. It can be something they do and they've got to link it in as their answer. They might have to upload a file. They might have to do a recording. They might have to do a Google Drive type of thing. So here we're going to create an assignment. So you'll title it. You'll decide how many points it's worth. You'll give instructions right here. So this is worth 50 points. You'll choose where does it go? Well, this is an assignment. It's not a lab. You can decide how to display the grade. I always just use points. Now, the submission type, you have to tell kids how they need to turn this in. If you leave it as online, but they're actually turning it in on paper, Canvas is going to annoy them and remind them, turn this in, you never turned it in. It's supposed to be turned in online. So make sure you actually do that. I'm going to show you how to use the external tool to link a Google Doc. So we're going to do this assignment like the most complicated way that we possibly can, so that you know the most sophisticated features of an assignment. So we're going to do a Google Drive cloud assignment, and it's going to pull up my Google Drive. So you could either search for the file or you can go look in all your folders and find it. But I'm just going to pick something. I've just picked something at random, but you would pick the template that you had created. And we're going to tell the computer to load this tool in a new tab. Okay. The date is important, but I'm going to show you how to get a date on there later. You will also have the option, once your groups are built, you'll have the option to assign this to a group, in which case the group leader would open up the document and then the team would work on it, and the group leader then would turn it in. So that feature is not available yet because my groups, I don't have any students, but it will be available for you. Just remember that, but you will have to have built your groups prior to that. That's why we did that, just so you know that method. Okay, so then you save and publish. Everything has to be published. Okay, discussions. So under discussions, you're going to, you can create a discussion here. And I think this is pretty self-explanatory. I probably don't need to take you through this, but again, you can have instructions. You can choose a file. You can do all kinds of things here. I'm not sure what actually all those things do, but okay. Discussions, pretty easy. Now, the other thing, quizzes. Quizzes get a little more complicated because there's lots of features available. Before we get started on quizzes, I want to show you a very important and useful thing to do, and that is question banks. A lot of teachers start building and they just add all these questions to quizzes, and it doesn't index them. So in the end, you end up with like 500 quiz questions and you don't even know what they're about. I create question banks, so in the end, when I give a final, I can just pull from every unit easily. They're all organized. This is not required. It was my preference just because I wanted to build other things from the same questions, and question banks made that possible. So like I would do Unit 1, kinetic energy. So I know all these questions are about that content. And then I would do another one, Unit 1, potential energy. And all those questions are about that content. The other nice thing about question banks, it's not just that you can access different types of questions easily, it's that you can program your quiz to pull a question from a bank so that every kid gets a different quiz. So, I mean, it's still the same content they're testing over, but it's a different question. So I really liked that. So what you would do is go into the question bank, and then you're going to add a question. So now we're going to take a look at all the different question types there are. So you've got multiple choice where you write the question here. You can also insert images or links if you need them to go do something and then come back. And then you have the answers. And then you have down here where you can give feedback. So you can give some feedback for a correct answer, for a wrong answer, or for everyone. Easy enough. True, false. Obviously, you know how that works. Fill in the blank. So this is where kids have to type the exact answer. If they have a spelling error, they get it wrong. This would be awesome for spelling tests, but otherwise it kind of gets to be a hassle because kids accidentally spell something wrong or they capitalize something and, fill in multiple blanks. So they're going to enter several different pieces of text. Multiple answers. So if they need to, choose all that apply, and then you have different correct answers. So you can just turn a correct answer off by clicking it. So you turn it on, it turns green, meaning that is the correct answer. Drop downs are pretty cool. You do have to use a special type of writing here. So you would say the flower was, and then you put it in these brackets. And then down here you enter, what do you want to drop down when they encounter color? So red, yellow. I'm going to spell that wrong. No, I'm not. I can't do that. Okay, and blue. Let's just do that. We're going to save this question because I want you to look at it later and see what it looks like. We'll add another question and keep going through these. You can also title the questions up here. That's another nice way if you really need specific stuff to find later. Matching. So let's say I have this cube and I want kids to calculate the volume. What is the volume of the cube? And I would insert a picture here, it'd look nice. What is the volume of a cube if the length is, the length is this value and the width is this value and the height is this value. Okay, so you might be thinking, well, what the heck does that do? So down here, I tell the computer, here's what I want you to select. I want you to select some number between 1 and 10 or 1 and 100. For the width, I want you to select some number between 10 and 20. For the height, I want you to select a number between 9 and 15, whatever. You can set decimal places. So this will generate a new question for every student. This is great in math if you want to have kids practice a skill, and then if they can't master it, they get to retake the quiz. You know why? Because they get a brand new question. It's testing the same skill. They get a brand new question, and you don't have to build all those questions. You build it one time, and it creates multiple options. Now, you do have to put the formula in. So what I will tell them, the computer, is length times width times height. Oh, I forgot. You have to use the star. It does have some things you'll have to figure out. So it has taken these sample values and calculated that. That way you can check. You can put it in your calculator. Did the formula work? Did I put it in right? And then you've got your answer. So here you can say, hey, I want you to offer 200 different questions on this. And you have it generate, and it will generate all the possible combinations. So if you go through and you find one you don't like, you can get rid of it. Okay, the other thing is that this actually gets even better. You can actually do a whole list of math operations. Let me just show you. They've got a list of like 100 different things. So you can use these in your formula. So if you want them to find the absolute value of a negative number or any number, you can use this abbreviation, and the computer does recognize that. So if you want them to round, if that's the question is round this value to the nearest whole number, you can tell the computer that you're needing to round the x variable. Oh yeah, here's all the, we're getting into some trigonometry here even. This is super awesome. Math teachers, this is what you need. What you would do is create just a shape that has just a general marking on it, like R for radius, or, a cube. Just mark it L, W, H, just so the kids know which dimensions go where, and then you pull those values. So I love this thing. I'm going to go ahead and update this question. Okay, so that's how to use question banks. And so now I've got some questions here on kinetic energy. Of course, none of them are about that. I'm going to go back to quizzes, and I'm going to build a quiz. Okay, I'm going to use these questions. So I need to build a quiz. And remember, I'm using that naming convention, which I'm trying to remember to do. Unit 1, quiz 1. Unit 1, quiz 1. Kinetic energy. Okay, so you can put instructions here. It's graded. I'm going to put this in the test category. I want them to always shuffle answers so they're in a different. You can allow multiple attempts. So let's say, yeah, I want these kids to have 2 attempts on this quiz. So if they bomb it the first time, they get to take it again. You can choose how kids see the answers. Maybe you're not going to show them the correct answers, or maybe you are, whatever. You can choose to show one question at a time or let them get the whole quiz at once. I have found on longer quizzes, kids prefer to just have them all on one screen. One question at a time kind of gets difficult, and especially if they have one that they have a question on they want to come back to. They can flag it, but it's just easier when they can scroll back up and be like, oh yeah, there's that question. So I say that's how you do that. But anyway, okay, quizzes. So you have 3 different ways you can add questions. You can create a whole new question right here in the quiz, just something that you've never made before. You can add a question group, so you can have it say, pull 2 questions from this question bank. Or you can go and find questions. So let's say, no, you want to use a specific question from the question bank. You're going to go find it, and every kid will have that question. I'm going to show you how to do new question group because it's the most difficult one to do. So this is going to be called kinetic energy questions. And I want the computer to pick 2 questions valued at 5 points. So the thing is, no matter what point value you used, creating the questions in the question bank, you can change it here. So I want every question worth 5 points, and then you're going to link to a question bank. So now you've got to go find it. That's going to be the one, and I'll create group. Okay, so now it's going to pull 2 out of 3 questions. I'm going to go ahead and publish this. And then I want to preview it to show you what it looks like from the student's view. Okay, so this is what a drop down is going to look like. So the kids pick red. This is what, and it didn't show you the math question. It picked these 2 because, you know, it's completely random. And that's how that works. So they can actually choose multiple responses, and then you can even submit the quiz and see what the feedback looks like if you did provide that. So here it's telling me I have another attempt, and it is giving me the answers. So, okay, that's how quizzing works. So let's go look at how to build pages. This is where you'll put your content where kids are learning. You'll put videos, you will put, you know, notes, you'll put instructions for different things. So links to websites they need to go to. So of course you want to name these. So this is the page called Unit 1 Kinetic Energy, and maybe I have a video of some sort I want to insert, or an image, all kinds of options here. And then I simply, so I got some content, and then I save and publish. So I'm going to show you a few other things you might find useful. Announcements. Maybe every week you want to give out an announcement just to let kids know kind of what's going on. You just create an announcement, and it's kind of like a page, really. And it will be a banner at the top. So it's going to notify them, hey, you have a new announcement to listen to or to read. You can insert videos as announcements. It's whatever. It's kind of, like I said, like a page, really. It's just going to be called an announcement. You can schedule when to send those out. So let's say you're going to be gone for a day and you want to go ahead and get that scheduled. You can. And so anyway, you just type in week 1 announcements and give your announcements there. That's kind of cool. Okay, under grades. So whenever you give an assignment, you have the option to grade it online. Of course, if it's a graded thing, some of your quizzes will be completely automated, and that's pretty nice because it gives them an automatic grade. But you'll notice I don't have any students here, so I can't actually show you this feature, but there's a thing called Speed Grader. So when you have an assignment, you'll choose Speed Grader, and then it actually gives you the student's work. You know, it takes your screen and splits it in 2. Here's the student's work. Here's where you enter their grade and where their name is. You can also attach rubrics to assignments where you click on the rubric to grade it. That's really nice too. We're not going to cover rubrics here, but it's a pretty easy thing to figure out. And I suggest if you have assignments like that, you go ahead and ask Google, how do I use rubrics in Canvas? And it's going to get you an answer. Okay. Let's see here, conferences. So you can meet with kids digitally through Canvas. So what you do is you create a conference. You'll want to include the time on the conference. So we would do at 7 p.m. because it doesn't schedule it. The conference starts whenever you open it. So you'll want kids to know, okay, this conference is going to be at 7 p.m. We want it to last 60 minutes. Most likely your district will want you to record it. Just, you know, in case something happens, you have some record, and then you can tell kids this. We'll go over the syllabus at this time. Update. It will actually send kids a message, hey, there's been a conference scheduled for you. Of course, they may not check that, and then this is how you start it. So you just click the start button, and then you'll wait for kids to join. And the nice thing is you can actually do some whiteboarding on here, and you can upload a presentation into the conference as well. And also, they have said here that this can have glitches because so many people are on it, and they have other options for you. So anyway, kids have to go through this process of allowing, you know, their microphone and their camera and all that. And there's a chatting feature over here. I heard audio.
You are currently the only person in this conference.
Over here, it's going to show you who all has logged in, and you can share your screen. So if you're like, hey, let me show you this website, you can do that. There's the whiteboard. This has breakout rooms. Lots of cool features here. Okay. There was something else the calendar. Okay. This is how you will assign due dates to your assignments. This is pretty cool. So let's say you've created all these assignments. You didn't really know when the school year was going to start because you've been having fun. And you need to now assign these. So what you do is you click on the class that you're wanting to assign, and you choose undated assignments. And then what you do, it gives you all of these assignments. This is for a different class I developed. That's why there's so many here. And you just drag them out to where you want them. The weird thing is, before you grab another, you've got to click out, then grab another one. If you don't click out, it won't let you grab another one, and you'll think you drug one over, but you didn't. You don't have to have due dates, but some of you, in order to sync to your formal grading system, you'll have to have the dates, but you don't have to have the dates. Okay, one final thing here. No, two things. Within a course, you also have a messaging option. So you can message students, but this requires they're actually checking that inbox, and some kids might not. So if you go over that in the beginning, like, hey, check your inbox, I will message you there. It sends them tons of messages. If they don't want to do that, they can also go into their under their account, and they can change their notifications to be emailed to them or to be text to them. So they can actually set that up under the account notification settings. You can set that up as well. So one final thing. Once you've built your course as far as you're going to build it and you're ready for kids to sign up, you're going to go ahead and click the Publish button. That's going to take it live. And you will want to make sure that everything that you've built so far that you want kids to see has been published. So they always have these little circles here. You can see this has not been published, that module, and I need them to see that. And also, I didn't show you how to add things to this module. We built some stuff. We haven't added it. Let's go ahead and do that. So you click on what you're wanting. I want to insert this quiz. And then I want to insert, did I make a discussion? No, I made an assignment right here. Add that. And you know what? I've decided I want this to happen first. So you just drag and drop that around. So you can also indent if you feel like that makes things look better. Okay, so now let's say you've built this and another teacher says, hey, I built this really cool thing. How do I share it with you? They can export assignments, modules, and full courses to Commons. So that's pretty cool. You can also then import from Commons. So if they tell you, hey, I exported this assignment, it's called Kinetic Energy Virtual Lab, you could type that into the search, find her assignment, and pull it into your own course. And you can also share as well. I'm going to show you how to do that. So right here, when you do this drop down, you can choose to share that module with Commons. Same thing here. So this would just be for this assignment. This up here is for the whole module. I can choose to share it to Commons, and then it's going to ask you for a title and, you know, what's the subject matter and things like that. But then it will be shared, and you'll have the option to share it privately to yourself within your district, or let anyone in the world that's on Canvas have it. Now, if it's the end of the semester and you're like, wow, I took a lot of time to build this course, I want to use it again and I want access to it, then you'll want to go to Settings, and you're going to choose then to export this whole course, and it will take every file, every module, every assignment, the whole thing. And that would be Export Course Content. So you can export it here, and you can export the whole course, and it will save it as just a file, and then you can upload that later. You can also save the whole course to Commons. And that is how to get your course up and running in Canvas. If there are other things you're wondering about or that you would like to use, just be sure to ask Google how to do this thing in Canvas, and you will get your questions answered. So that's how I learned Canvas. I started out not knowing anything, and I just asked Google. So good luck. Canvas is an awesome program, and have a great school year.